Ryan, have you ever thought about being an architect?
Have you ever thought about being a truck driver?
Have you ever thought about being a salesperson?
What about something in the medical field?
Realtor? Listen to Career Paths every Thursday
Wherever you listen to podcasts,
and on YouTube. You might learn something.
you might not.
It's your life. Make it happen.
Memories fading, we all forget. It's not so shiny things you do.
Career Paths.
Guess I could have left the charger going. It's got it on its side.
turn the out here. Let's
Let's do that.
Here, I got this right here. Watch this. Oh no, you got to leave that on. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, there you go.
Whatever.
Whatever. Throw that anywhere.
Settle down.
Yeah. You. Welcome to Career Paths. I'm your. Screw this. I'm so tired of always talking about everybody else. Why? Oh, that's right. Let's do the second half of my interview. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's swap. Hey Ryan.
Hey, welcome to the Career Path. I'm your host, Victor Boudreau.
Wait.
No.
What? With that.
With me, as always, is Brian Kane.
Hey.
You're looking better today than normal.
I just flew in from Phoenix, and boy, are my arms tired. Hey, it's a comedy act. Take it on the road because it sucks here.
So you did just get back from Phoenix.
I honestly did just get back from Phoenix. I just flew in, I got in like an hour, 2 hours ago. Went down there for a Kraken hockey and Coyotes hockey game. So I'm not a hockey guy. I keep telling people that when we were down. So Kraken, you really into hockey? What about? I go, I don't know. I'm a football guy, but yeah. Hey, that was a good segue right there.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Even though you didn't try.
I know.
Right?
Almost.
The
sweat working that one out.
Wow. Yeah. You'd think some of this was planned, but it's honestly not even close to me.
Not even. So, with us today is Victor Boudreau.
Hey, how you doing? So nice to be back again.
All three of you remember him from last week. We're actually going to do a little part two.
Part two, yeah, because we've been doing this long enough, like we talked about. There's lots that we have both done, and we thought maybe we'd share a little bit of our backstory and what we've done in our lives. So, yeah. And we've been waiting. When all our other guests, there's times that things will, I know we've slipped.
And we had to hook you all in, reel you in.
All three of you.
Yeah. Now that you're hooked, we get to talk about Victor.
I'll be interviewing you here soon. That's going to happen, so.
We'll lose three people then.
three viewers.
All right, so give us a litbe background about yourself. Are you married, divorced, kids, grandkids, great-grandkids?
I just got asked to host or be my nephew's wedding in May. I get to
perform the
ceremony and everything. Yeah.
Your dad was a minister or pastor or whatever.
Lonnie was on one of our first guests. Lonnie, he gets married in May, and he was trying to get a hold of me. I saw him a couple of weeks ago at my...
Is he still with the same company?
He is. He's doing very well.
If you don't know what that company is, you need to check out earlier episodes.
Yep, Lonnie Boudreau.
Yep.
Move her moving company. So, yeah. I've busy late last, I've been busy, always. Yeah, so no, life's good. Background, divorced, many divorces, no kids, thank you God, if there is a God.
So no grandkids,
no
great-grandkids?
No, I don't need, I got nieces, nephews, I got friends of the family.
Yeah.
I got I bike to Paula. I talk to him on a regular, hey Mike, talk to him on a regular basis. Yeah. So, I stay in contact.
Anytime you need kids, you can borrow one of mine.
And I don't need to do that bad.
Probably like to change.
So, yeah. And, last time we talked, went over basically my music career, because that spanned up until recently, and I'm not saying I'm not open to play it again, but it just hasn't happened. And so the second half, I've been doing a crazy thing.
There's a resemblance there.
I don't understand. So anybody listening to the
I think
show,
it's the belt.
I started out we got an arena indoor football team in Spokane back in 2006, and I was hooked from day one. Brought my parents in because mom and dad love football, and we got involved in the second year. A buddy of mine, Richard, said, we should do something. We were talking about it because the fans in Spokane, very passionate, very into it, but no, the worst. Let's see how I phrase that. The craziest that any fan was, they were wearing like a jersey or t-shirts, with a logo and everything. That's great. And I said, hey, we got to do something past that. I'm into it. I love it. Let's do the extreme. And Richard and I, we took it to the extreme.
You did.
We had people staring at, who the hell are these weirdos? He went by the Shockinator, and I went by the Shock Warrior. And if you go to Ultimate Ninth Man Facebook, Ultimate Ninth, you got to spell out Ninth. You can follow the history. Because I was the official, unofficial mascot for the Spokane Shock. They changed, rebranded some years ago. I had to go to the Empire. I changed the colors, but pretty much the same thing. Then they ceased operation some years ago, and so the Spokane Shock came back, and so I renewed that. But in the meantime, there's another Spokane team, outdoor team, called the Spokane Wolfpack, and I got involved with them. So I was the official mascot for the Spokane Wolfpack. So yeah. Just crazy. I was just, you're not asked questions. I have my story. I've been telling this so much over the years, and you've been a part of it. You've seen it. You've actually played the role of the Shock Warrior.
I have.
I sometimes forget that, and
I think twice actually.
I remember we did a Toys for Tots back in 2010 or 2009 to 2010. Yep, you were the Shock Warrior because we were doing a Toys for Tots benefit. The band Plastic Saints, we were headlining. And since we had the Shock involved with that, Rob Keefe, one of the head coaches some years ago. Hey, Rob. Heads up. I wanted the Shock Warrior to be there, but I could not figure out how to be there playing the band because what it takes sometimes to get made up with. Because if you see pictures or if we can show pictures, it takes a little bit, as you know. Because there's face paint, you got to do the pads, you got to do everything. Because I do it on a certain level. I do it where people assume I was the official mascot because of the way I presented myself. It's just part of the.
I guess the second time I was Renegade, so I looked like you, but I had
that's what it was.
Different jersey on.
Yeah, that's what it was. We painted you up. You were part of the game. We did a hair. That's right. That's what it was. Yes. Yeah. I do have pictures of that. Oh yeah,
And for years I did have my Army helmet. that was all shocked out.
Shock Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had fun. So it's just part of the creative thing and just getting into it. And a quick story I want to share is my father. In the beginning, he football. Mom and dad were season ticket holders. Once I saw the first game, I said we got to go to the next game. And this is before I started dressing crazy. And so the next year,
crazy.
And so the next year. Started doing the Shock Warrior things, dressing up, and me and Richard. And my father, he was old school. Well, he was. He didn't understand the craziness of his son. So Dad would be 20, 30 feet away, going, yeah, that's my kid over there. Not he kind of embarrassed, but because he didn't get it. I mean, I was just going crazy, and you can attest to this. Over the years, I started doing the Shock Warrior in 2007. It's 2002 now, and between everything I've done with Shock Warrior, because it took a life of its own, and you know this. Done Shriners, visited kids at Shriners. I had an epiphany one summer that I was supposed to go see kids at Shriners as the Shock Warrior, and it did not make sense to me. It took me 8 months before I finally did it, and let me get back to that. Let me finish with my father. But before my dad passed away, he saw how it affected other fans, how it affected players, how it affected himself, I guess, because by the end of it, my boy. So, yeah, very proud of it. I don't know if he still got it, if you understand why his son's so crazy, but yeah, it was very cool. Like I said, it took the character and the whole thing took a life of its own, where I was taking a nap in the afternoon, woke up, and I had a dream or something saying I had to go see kids at Shriners. and I didn't get it. Being in bands all my life, has watched the first interview, half. I've done charity stuff. I've done benefit concerts where I get all that. I've had albums and had to autograph stuff, or got to autograph stuff. Albums, CDs, drumsticks, drum heads, posters, and it was very cool. I appreciate all that. But as a shock warrior, I was just a crazy fan, and at that point, and I finally went, and with the help of Dan and Julie Chase, and Joker, who we had on the show recently, not too long ago. We finally went, and when we went in to see the kids at the rec room, I had two major things happen. There was a kid in a wheelchair, zipped out of the room as soon as I walked in, and I had a mom come up to me and said, "You might have scared him." I said, "I get it. Some kids I scare, some kids I don't. It's all good. I appreciate that." Then I had a physical therapist that worked at Shriners come up to me. And this is when I first walked in, and I didn't know what the reaction would be. And he goes, "Well, you know the kids are looking like you're a superhero." And it's like, oh my effing, because it finally hit me. I was looking at it from my perspective, not from the kid's perspective. So there goes the dog.
Chubby one.
That's a light one too. I know. Going, huh? Yeah, and it's like finally opened my eyes, because I remember being a kid at where we went to school at in middle school. We had people like Charlie the Clown or something come through, or the it wasn't the Harlem Globetrotters, but it was a local basketball team that did the Harlem Globetrotter kind of gimmick, and having fun and kicking butt, and so it hit me. And so we've done Shriners several times now. Toys for Tots. We visited kids. We visited a mom and a child that moved into an apartment that literally had nothing. They didn't have beds. And
I remember that.
Joe came to me and said, "Dude, we got this situation." And Joe's made me a better man because of this. Thanks, Joey. He got to me, and I kind of arranged stuff, but we work as a team. Dan and Julie Chase were involved. We had some other people involved. And by the end of the visit with it, we showed up at this mom and kids apartment that they just got into, and they had beds. We got them, the team. I didn't do it. I'll give everybody else credit. Joey did it. Dan and Julie did it. Beds. They had Christmas trees. They had Christmas presents. They had food in their fridge. So, yeah, a little emotional at times to think that I was involved with something like that. But good people I dealt with. It wasn't me. I give credit to everybody else. So back to Shriners real quick, and I'll get back there. The child that was in the wheelchair, his name was Clarion, and that kid changed my life. But I'm sure he'll tell you differently, and his mom ended up coming back in. Him and I ended up playing. I don't know everything about Clarion besides he had metal rods over the years put in his back. He had some major physical issues. But all I know is him and I play. He doesn't know this. He knows my character, Shock Warrior. When I dressed, even at Dan and Julie Chase's house, we met up one time and had dinner, and I was eating. I was all geared up, face paint, wig, and Claire and I are sitting next to each other I'm eating steak. And so it's crazy how doing what I've done, being a Shock Warrior and Ultimate Ninth Man on Facebook has impacted quite a few people from what I know. So anyway, yeah.
So let me take a step back.
Yes, sir.
Please. So when you first started,
yes,
dressing up for the games and stuff.
Talking about as a Shock Warrior, just dressing up crazy.
As a Shock Warrior, was
whoa.
Did you get some of your inspiration? I know where the part of it came from, but did some of it come from like NFL fans and stuff? Because you see some NFL fans kind of go all out.
I stole it. I stole my gimmick, the Shock Warrior, completely from the WWF Pro Wrestler, the Ultimate Warrior, completely. His face paint. At that point had already met him. I am a major Ultimate Warrior fan from that. He was major. I knew the face paint. I've done a couple Halloween things beforehand. Obviously, I'm not all built and muscular, so doing shoulder pads and all that. I know. You think. Skinny white boy.
I just thought it was the clothes you wore. Just made you look skinny.
Huh. What's your clothes say for you?
Well, that I should cut down on the cookies.
I saw other fans on NFL and such, and that was our inspiration in general to do something for the Spokane Shock. Me and Richard, the Shockinator. But I was totally gave me the opportunity. By then, I used to have the long hair for the rock and roll. By then, I'd cut my hair off, so it gave me the opportunity to do the wig thing, and blue and orange wig, or black and orange, or just blue with the wolf pack.
So then, where did Richard get his
I don't know.
idea for his face paint?
I'm not really 100% because he changed a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
The outline and everything of mine was always Ultimate Warrior. The inside, what I did was always like different, like he did, different stuff usually. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I was thinking, he just started getting crazy and playing with it. So something we did, and he did it for. We did it for years, and then eventually his real life. I mean, he's married, got kids, business. Other things became more important. So he dropped out. He wasn't a season ticket holder anymore. I, on the other hand, it was something I shared with my parents, which you know.
Yeah.
And by that time, I was involved with other people, like I said, Joker, Joe, Dan and Julie Chase. Were part of the fan club majorly. My parents, myself. Where we got to know players. I am still friends with players from the former Shock. Heads up to Emery Salmons, Alex Teams in particular. I got to send one of these dolls out to Alex Teams, autographed, coincidentally. And I got those for kids when I visit Shriners and other like Children's Hospital. But I had people, when I put them on the Facebook, I had people asking where they could get them. And it's like, I was kind of blown away by that. Very flattered. Because I just, I don't look at myself. You know this about myself. I don't take it seriously. I'm very fortunate at what I do and what I've done. And in reality, it's like I'm nobody, just having a good time. And if I get to make a difference anymore, looking back, my music career as well as the Shock Warrior thing, I'm grateful for anything that I can do to change somebody's life. And I've had people come to me and tell me that to do with my music, and now with doing the Shock Warrior thing, where I've changed their life. And it's like I'm just being the crazy wacky person that I am, and you know that.
So you were the unofficial mascot for the Spokane Shock. How did that come about?
I
mean, are you self-proclaimed, or
no?
They actually came to you.
Yeah, pretty
right?
much. Well, they pretty much. Okay, so they came back. And we're gonna stay with that one, okay? So when they came back a couple of years ago, I introduced myself to the owner and some of the new staff, and they knew who the hell I was. They knew who Shock Warrior was. The head coach Billy Back, he knew who I was, which just blows me away. These are guys that were on the West Coast or the East Coast with different teams of different leagues, like National Arena League, NAL, IFL. So when they came back, it's pretty much, I still had gear, had jerseys and pants from the older stuff. And I was told, nope, you'll be getting new stuff to help represent. So you're basically the official, unofficial mascot. And then the official mascot, the guy that was in the costume for the last several years, him and he'd come to me for advice. And just because I've been doing this so long, so I was flattered by that. It's crazy. I'm just a crazy fan, but yeah, that's pretty much how the official, unofficial came by.
And then you were the official mascot for
Spokane Wolfpack, and they've changed leagues a couple times. Because of the world pandemic that was going on. They didn't play for a year or so. They're supposed to be playing here soon. Got some games. I'll hopefully represent for that. I reached out to the previous owner, because I wanted something to do. I wanted to be involved in it. It was local football, local ownership, and they were all for it. I brought in other fans, obviously. There's why the hiatus of the Spokane Shock, or after the Empire ceased operation. There was a couple of years without no local football, at least indoor arena, and so the Wolfpack was something to do, something to get involved with, and kind of the same thing. I haven't done as much with them as I'd like to, but. Part of the COVID situation kind of shut it down a little bit, but you never know. We'll see what happens. I'm always open.
So I don't know if you ever watched it or even remember. There was a show on at one point that it was all about mascots of different, there was a NBA team, the Bucks. There was a hockey team. And they had the mascots from these different things and what they went through on a daily basis and stuff.
No, I never saw that.
It was really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. And especially for the NBA side of it, because like halftime and stuff, they put on a show. And
I never had to. With the Spokane Shock, I didn't have to do anything that crazy, or for the Wolfpack. Mine was basically I didn't have to do anything acrobatic or anything like that. I just was kind of a meet and greet. I chased, messed with kids, messed with the other fans that were in the audience, whether it be Shock, Empire, Wolfpack. I never, fortunately, no. I think I'd hurt myself or hurt somebody else along the way, or both.
Do you ever wish that it got to that level to where, of course, I guess too, when you did start, you weren't in your 20s or 30s and a lot more active than...
Yeah, it's been this progression. I'm happy what I've done. I don't think I'd want to do that to that point, especially at my age now.
Those guys break a lot of bones and stuff.
Yeah, I'll be retiring in the near future somehow, some way, just because it'll be time. But I don't want to embarrass myself more than I already do. But no, I'm good. Now, good question. I have never. It took off more than I ever thought it would be. I never thought it'd be an official mascot or the unofficial official mascot. To have people come and thank me for what I've done, to influence kids in a positive way.
Well, and I don't think you ever imagined some of the benefits that you've gotten from it.
Oh.
Getting to meet a lot of these players. They come out to your parents' place.
Because of who and what I've done, I think that's part of the thing to do with my father is the interaction that I had with players, which brought them. They're the Shock Warrior mom and dad. It gave us more than because we interacted. We had players. Richard and I started out having like a Monday night, just him and I. We'd do this before we ever did anything with the Shock, where we'd hang out, do Monday Night Football, watch, have dinner. It was like boys' night out or boys' night. And over the time when we started hanging out with the Shock guys and him and I doing what we did, we had like anywhere between 2 to 10 players on a Monday night at his house. And we were playing video games. They're competitive, son of a... Yeah, we were doing wrestling video games back, and good times. It was something we did to make any of the boys feel welcome to Spokane that had never been in the area. They didn't have anybody else besides other players. So, and with my parents, we would they have the farm out north of Spokane, and my mom and dad loved to entertain, as you know. Mm-hmm. Mom would love to cook because I have 3 brothers, so it's just cooking for more boys. Mom loved that and would do whatever kind of food, and Dad loved to entertain and be a jokester, and that's where I try to get my sense of humor from, make people laugh. But it gave us so much. It's given us so much.
Well, didn't you get to honor your dad's military service?
Now you're gonna get me on that one. Yeah, a couple of years ago. So yeah, I can't. You'll have to say it. I can't say it right now.
I can't either.
Okay.
So you guys just won't know. Take that.
Yeah, I just posted on my private Facebook just recently, just the last week, because I came across it again. So, yep.
So what would you say the biggest misconception the public has about the Shock Warrior? Besides that he's nice and friendly.
I'm really a jerk. Wow. You have to be ready for some of these questions. I didn't even think of that. Wow. I have no idea. I have never... I assume people assume all stuff good and bad all the way because of my life in general. I mean, being a rock and roll band, people assume drugs, alcohol all the time and all, parties, sex, rock and roll. And I had a couple of those, but my high was being on stage, and my high is performing as a warrior. Those are highs to me that I can't compete. Nothing else compete. I'm not into the drug thing. Alcohol doesn't do anything for me. I've been drunk, but last time I had a drink or alcohol was 8-9 years ago. Give me a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so spastic at times. Misconception. I don't know. I have no idea. I just they assume I'm a weirdo, and I'm good with that. I am. I'm different than most people. I do stuff that other people have dreamt of doing. Being in a band all my life, I've had people, how do you do? And the level, even at that level, it's like I didn't get to where I thought I wanted to go, but I never lost contact with friends and family, as you know. and that was a big thing. I get to share, and yet I have albums. I've recorded, being just the drummer. That's right. There's a slam for somebody. See if they ever get. I'm just the drummer.
What he's talking about.
I know you do. I have albums. I have stuff on YouTube. Several different albums. My last band, Plastic Saints. Love the guys. Musically, everything we did with that album.
Their music is our intro.
It is. We do
Yeah.
intro it. Yeah. Plastic Saints. So I'm grateful for everything. Misconceptions. You're a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I know being a mascot doesn't pay, and I know being a drummer you didn't get filthy rich off of that.
I got by. Yes.
So,
Are we segueing?
and more so during your mascot years,
Yep.
money, income.
I
So you had to work other jobs and
have.
stuff.
I've worked many jobs over the years.
What are
customer-
some of those jobs that you've types of jobs at least?
Customer service, I would say a lot. Or for years after I first stopped playing full time musically, I still played on weekends, but didn't make enough money. But that was I was a sprinkler installation guy and repair guy. Worked for my oldest brother, Mike. Thanks, Mike. He felt sorry for me apparently. Worked for him for several years. Eventually moved into a parts store, a landscaping sprinkler parts store. Worked several of those, a couple of stores around here because worked at one for like 5 or 6 years and just got tired of the BS there. Went to another company, worked there for a couple of years and get burned out on that because it's during the winter obviously you don't do much, but during the summer, as you know, because you've done sprinkler installation, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I used to run my butt off, and
Yep.
because customers were that was everything to me. Take care of my customers, do whatever. Usually they'd ask for me. I'd have a customer. I would have 2 computers going with 2 orders and somebody on the phone trying to get their order, get them all taken care of in a timely manner, and because I had an idea what my customers, So did that, and I'm trying to think. Right now, worked at a video game chain, national, world, for like 10, 11 years now as part-time seasonal. And then there's a local sports store that's in one of the malls. I worked there part-time for like 5 or 6, 7 years now, part-time, for fun. And and then last summer, which I'm planning to do, is go work for the Spokane City for the grounds crew. Get out. I don't get stuck in one spot, which I realize being in bands all my life, I don't, every couple of weeks you had either every week or every 2 weeks you travel, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Even if it's the same clubs you played before in the past, but you weren't stuck in one spot, which I realize that's one reason I don't like being stuck in one spot. So
I'm with you. I've tried indoor work and it leaves me stuck in one spot.
Yeah, you realize that things that have affected you. I analyze, as you know this about me, I analyze a lot about myself, and why I'm verbally obnoxious. That's the way I term it, verbally obnoxious, and it's one of my defenses. I scare people away with that. You know this about me, because I'm obnoxious. I say stuff about other people jokingly, smart ass, but a lot of people go, "Oh, yes, I can't." Oh,
He's so rude.
yeah, and I'm okay
I've
with
heard
that.
that a few times.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I know. Isn't it great?
And as you know, that's my wall. That's my defense for people, because I've dealt with people that just want, earlier in my life when they're doing the band thing, when we're shooting up the ladder, the bands I've been in, where it looks like something's gonna happen, people want to cling on and take advantage of it. You gotta weed those dumbasses out. As you know, I actually kind of mellow out once we get to know
Yeah.
somebody. I'm not as obnoxious. I mean, I have my moments just because it's funny for us, like you and I before
Yeah.
the show started today.
Keeps us on our A game.
It does. Or we're either making jokes about ourselves or about each other, and they're not
usually
nice.
both.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, exactly.
Ourselves and each other.
Exactly, and they're not nice, and yet we have the underlying. And any of my friends, and I'm fortunate beyond belief with the friends that I have and I've built over the year. Joe, Richard, Dan and Julie, to name some of them to do with the current. My bandmates, Robert, or Brandon. They know, they get it, they understand, because there's that wall, and but they know that I'm there. We've known each other a few years.
Yeah. Well, I got people saying about me now that I remember it originated with you. Excuse me. The what are you gonna do? Hurt my one nerve or along those lines? And
I only have one.
You can't
feeling.
hurt my one feeling.
Yeah, that's all I have left.
Yeah.
Really, that's all you got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I get people nowadays saying that they're like, "Oh, you can say it to Ryan. You're not gonna hurt his one feeling."
Yeah.
And it's
Hey,
like,
trust me, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm not married to you. You
it's
can't.
like you can insult me all you want. It's not.
I'm not sleeping with
I'm
you.
not crying.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping with you. You can't.
Yeah.
You got nothing.
So
Yes. Next question.
we're gonna save that one for just a second longer.
Okay.
So
Wow, look at you go.
now, when you
The
were
hostess with the mostest.
active with the Shock,
Yes.
when they were active,
Yes.
you sat front row, right?
Yes.
So you got to not only interact with our players when they're on the
Yes.
field a little bit, but the other teams.
Yes.
Now, how did that go? Because a lot of
and-
people expect you to be mean and rude and stuff to them.
I was always, that as well as the referees, because
Yeah.
people are screaming and yell at referees and other players, the away team. And I'd always just say hi and be friendly because I don't have an issue. It's a game, people.
Yeah.
It's a game. And even the head referee, at one time, I go, what's your name? He's just like, why? What do you want to do to me? I want to know your name so I can ask you questions because I don't know what's going on sometimes. I'm not a referee. I don't know why you're calling this. I want to understand better.
I don't know why you're being a dumbass.
But yeah, he was rather shocked when some of the other players, other teams, they'd be down waiting for the kickoff, and I'd just say hi and hey man. It took him aback, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know that about me. It's like it's a game, people. I don't hate anybody.
So I remember sitting up with your parents because that's where my season tickets were for years.
Yep.
And watching you interact with the other team and stuff, and you're fist bumping and everything else with them, and everyone else is expecting you to be like,
You guys
throwing a beer on them or
Yeah.
something, and it's like,
Yeah,
you get talking, you can tell that you guys are joking around and having fun.
Exactly. I didn't know if people would notice that about it, but yeah, it's a game, people. They're people. They're just players on a different team. Yeah, I yelled and screamed when it was time to do whatever.
And it's not like they're Tom Brady. If they're Tom Brady, you can yell at them and stuff. But
Yeah, not
anyone else.
And again,
just people.
my philosophy is I'm better than that. I'm not. I want to lead by example, especially when I was in costume. When I was in costume, Shock Warrior, I do not swear. I don't. Every now and then I slip, but there was no one around. But I had an example. I wanted to lead by example.
Yeah.
And that was important to me. And I think it made the other players, the other teams, maybe it worked in our advantage to throw them off. It's like, well, this guy's nice, but the rest of the fans are jerks.
They're always yelling and screaming. Can't hear nothing.
Profanities and I didn't know people actually took a notice of that. That's the first time I think we've talked about that.
At least I did, but
it's probably.
I might have just had googly eyes for you and couldn't look away.
Still do. It's embarrassing.
All right, so the big question, you answered this last time too, but let's see if your answer is the same.
What was my answer?
So, what did you want to be as a kid? A cowboy, an astronaut,
from age 10,
cop,
rock and roll drummer in a rock and roll band.
Peter Criss?
I was ready to take his place. He quit at one time, and I was old enough, probably would have auditioned. Then, when all this shit came down, when they reformed, and I saw him at the Gorge, and something was going on, it's like, put me in, coach. I'd already been painting my face, doing the Shock Warrior thing. I think it's like I have no, I'll do it. But yeah, drummer in a rock and roll band to do the Shock Warrior thing, and now the podcast. I've realized I'm an entertainer. I don't. It's hard for me to say that at times because I'm just a clown, but. Being on stage, having fun, entertaining, twirling sticks, smiling and flirting with girls and smiling at the guys, like, rock and roll and all that corny stuff back in the day. And then the Shock Warrior thing and now the podcast and Wolfpack Warrior. I get it from my dad. I get it from my dad and my mom.
100% from your dad. I don't see him being in front of a camera or anything.
No.
But he loved to entertain.
My dad loved to entertain. He loved to make people laugh.
He loved to flirt with the girls.
He loved flirting with the girls. He flirted more than I do. I flirt. I don't take it as flirting because I'm not, You know, I don't mind making
Yeah.
a girl smile and feel good about herself, or a guy. It's equally to me, because I've always been had a happy relationship outside of that, fortunately, for the most part. And Dad liked to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And if I can make somebody laugh, and Dad was short, and if you watch the video, if you come across my Facebook, it was posted about in the last week where they got to honor my dad. He said, I can't do that. Can't even talk. He was a little shorter.
Yeah.
He was like 5'2", and I'm like 6 foot. And then in costume with the hair, give me another couple inches. And if they made a joke about Dad being short or being old, he won. He's been short all his life. He didn't care.
Yeah.
And people would joke about his height and all that. He grew up. There's a reason why he's short. It's not genetics. Just Mom and I have speculated, but he had a rough childhood.
Yeah.
So,
So me and your mom were talking the other day, and
how's Mom?
she's doing good.
Good. You finally got to go out and see her?
Yeah.
She always asks about you, like you're a son or something.
I know.
Have you seen Ryan?
I was talking about, you know, how I've been on the roof the last few days,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know how women do it wearing high heels, because, you know, my toes are pointing down half the day, my calves and everything are just killing me, and, you know, and she's like, yeah, I never wore high heels. And I said, well, weren't you taller than your husband? She goes, not originally.
Yeah. Dad shrunk over the years,
Yeah.
an inch or so, but
And she thinks she actually grew a little at the same time, so I was like,
yeah, she didn't have to. Dad loved her all the same. Yeah, Dad was short, and yeah. What else did you and Mom talk about, by the way? So there you were.
chickens,
Yeah,
the cows, you know,
Yeah. Okay.
you know, the usual.
Yeah, there you go. Any other question you want to ask? Anything else?
Just one last question. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience that you think would be helpful?
Yeah, that's
and
true. That's
so
why we're here,
forth.
aren't we?
Yeah,
Is it kind
we're
of
here to help.
Yeah, to do with career paths, because I've done a lot of stuff. You've done a lot of stuff.
We're very serious about this.
I had the opportunity to follow my dreams. My parents, because they did not, and I'm aware of this. My brothers made different choices. They all have kids. I always thought I'd be a dad, but whatever, I'm not. And I was afforded the opportunity to follow my dreams. My parents would ask me when I was in my 20s, and all I did is played rock and roll, travel around the Northwest Canada in cover bands, trying to do the original thing, writing music, recording stuff. Are you happy and you're paying your bills? Yes. Oh, that's all that mattered. And that's all it is now. Are you happy and you're paying your bills?
Yeah.
And if you have a dream, whether it be do a podcast, figure it out. I went through a lot of miscellaneous crap over the years. Band members coming and going, ex-wives coming and going, hasn't it? But hopefully you learn lessons from that. Hopefully, it took me several times, and you know, once again, I didn't get to where I thought I wanted to go. As you know, this being a rich rock star, performing all the time, and for being an old guy, as an example, Van Halen, Def Leppard, these guys still were out performing for the Def Leppard, still out, Journey. I wanted to be on that level where I'd be performing all of my time, and I'm glad I haven't. Now looking back, because I would have missed family. I only missed one Thanksgiving in all my adult life. I never missed a Christmas with my family or my parents. I never missed a birthday or anniversary that I can remember. There's actually things we got to do because of what I did, made it even better. Because one year, the shock was doing preseason. They were staying at a hotel that my band was playing at. You know the story, don't you? And it was Mom's
Probably.
birthday. Mom's birthday was coming up. So me doing what I do, I'm like a wedding planner, but a party planner, whatever. I had arranged it. I initially set it on purpose a certain way. The guys are staying at the hotel where the band's playing at, and something now I can't remember exactly, but we'll end up there. Well, Mom took it that we were going to have dinner at the hotel and meet up with the players at that point. Well, no, we ended up meeting up at my cousin's house in the valley with other parts of her family. It was a surprise birthday party for her. And when she showed up, or when she was calling, like, where are we meeting at? I thought we were meeting at a hotel. No, Mom, we're meeting at the cousin's house. No, Mom. So I threw her off. She was pissed off, and then she shows up to the house. She sees her brother two brothers from out of town, relatives from out of town, therefore nieces, nephews, grandkids. And then we ended up having dinner there, and then we go over to the hotel, and then there's shock players, and there's Oh, that's right. Oh my God, I just remembered Bo and BJ. BJ we just had on the show. Bo and BJ they're big black guys. I'm sorry if that's the wrong term, Bo, BJ. Big boys. They were around
I don't know
Dad.
any other way to say big.
You know,
Humongous.
with Dad being short, and you have these two big football players that were just like escorting Dad around. Dad was loving it. Oh my God. And Mom had all the players hanging out, and then all her family and stuff too. So, yeah, I forgot about that. All this stuff I got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I get a little teary-eyed. Sorry about that. I didn't expect that. Oh.
You know, let me throw something else in with what you said. You know, because you're like, if you get a chance to follow your dreams, you know, it's not about always the money and stuff. It's if you're paying your bills and you're happy.
That's part of it.
If you get the chance to help someone else,
oh my God,
follow their dreams. You know, your kids, your friends, whatever. I mean, step up and do it.
Make a difference. Make it. It's, you'd be amazed. I wasn't even trying to make a difference, and I know that I do make a difference, and that's what's crazy. And the things you get to share along the way is amazing. And here we are.
Yeah.
You're shocked.
Sharing.
How long have we been doing this? Too long?
About, what are we on? We're like on...
Close to 90 episodes?
I think we're on 90... I think you were 91 last week.
Really?
So we're at like 92 episodes too long. 93. We should have stopped before we started one.
And I give credit. There's times I get bouncy. I was told the trip I went with a friend of mine, and he goes, "You're a spaz." It's like, yeah, I give my credit to my dad. And you know this about Dad. Dad would go. He was 83 when he finally passed, and he'd go, and then he'd stop, and he'd fall asleep. And I'm the same way. It's like go go go. I'm a antsy.
Yeah, he was always on the go.
Yeah, it's like I got to do this. It's like no, you don't. Wait a minute. I had to analyze that one and go. He doesn't have to. It's the way his brain thinks. It keeps him going. Kept him going.
Yeah.
Kept him around for as long as he was.
I remember every time I would go out there, he would have to come running up with some joke that he had printed out from the computer, and he's like handing me a couple of them.
Yep, that's what Dad did. Yeah.
Loved passing out the jokes.
Yep, he liked making people laugh. So, yeah. Here you go.
All right.
If you got any
that's
questions.
all I got.
Yeah, that's all you got? That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Here you go. Can I end the show now?
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you for watching and listening to Career Pass. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.
I want to shout out to Paul and Mitchell for still putting, not Paul Mitchell, but Mitchell and Paul, the actual guys.
Paul Mitchell, the hair.
Exactly. The guys that have put up with us, putting Infonet, by Infonet, they're the head of Infonet, they still put up with us.
Yeah.
Thanks.
They're saints.
Thanks.
They really are.
Thanks.
It's your life.
Make it happen. Thanks, guys. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. Till next time, we'll see you.
Okay.
Take 24. La 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 la.
Career Path.